Hello viewers, Super GT here. Also returning is FIA Racing. It's been a while, it's been quite a while since we've had a couple of FIA races. So we had the Nürburgring IRL event a couple of weeks ago. We finally get back into the big boy racing on Gran Turismo Sport. So went out for qualifying, set a 37.9, quite a decent first lap. Come in, do your pit stop, get a fresh set of tyres, come through here, and there's just some guy going 2 miles an hour on the racing line. No wonder they call it the death chicane. So that didn't help, that ruined my car. We finished 12th, but it didn't matter anyway because everyone got disconnected, or I got disconnected from everyone, whichever way round that works. So it didn't matter, whatever happened there, just wasted all my time and got disconnected from the network. 2 hours later, it is quite frustrating having to wait 2 hours to do the next race, but we get back in, we go again, we brush ourselves off from the disappointment, and I was on for a decent lap here. My first lap, a 38.2, or just under a 3, and coming through the death chicane, pushing the wall to the limit. You really have to do that. And it was really close qualifying. I'm in 14th, but I'm only 1 second away from first. I've improved in the first 2 sectors by about 2/10. So coming through the final corner, let's see if I can improve, move up a couple of grid slots. But as we come up here, I completely run out of fuel and eventually sail across the line really slowly. So I completely misjudged it. I misjudged it. Very silly mistake, and ultimately finished 15th, which sets up quite an interesting race. But as this is an FIA race, I'm sure you've been waiting for it. Here is the intro. The real disconnect simulator returns, and thankfully they put me in the intro. My sad little face. Okay, we've got Wi-Fi password, bringing up the rear of the pack, and Wi-Fi password's been really quick recently, but obviously something went amiss during that qualifying session. Okay, here we go. Now the interesting thing about this race is the mixed strategy. I'm starting 15th, I'm quite near the back. But we're going to go for an aggressive strategy. You can do this race with a no stop, you can do it with 1 stop, and it's actually quite marginal between the two. They're both quite close. I'm going to go for the aggressive strategy. So I'm going to go all out on fuel. I'm going to go past a lot of people to begin with, but then I will have to pit where a lot of people won't. We've got a yellow flag. What is going on here? The nervous Buddha going sideways across the track. He was the pole sitter and will be absolutely kicking himself right now for dropping it on lap 1 and going down to last. So not good from him, not good at all. That was really weird, really weird, and he's still only just recovering now, judging by the map. But anyway, up to 13th from 15th. Up behind a big group here, so lots of these guys will be short shifting, trying to preserve that fuel, eke out that 1 tank of fuel for the whole race, so I can easily go past quite a lot of these people. Up into here, it kind of gets a little bit busy, and I just poke my way through up the inside, take a nice tight line, got the inside of 2 cars, got someone on my left hand side here, and as we go through here, a bit of contact, and that just gives me the space to move up into 10th place. 5 positions gained already through the death chicane, really close to the wall. You really do have to get very friendly with both walls through that corner to really get the most out of it, and it's a scary experience, let me tell you. So going through the final corner, that's the end of lap 1, and I would say that is a fairly successful first lap to move up 5 positions so far can see here the slipstream is very real, as it actually indicates just how to go past. So we're going to go over through the crest into turn 1, and a nice big group up ahead. Let's try and get onto the back of them and get through as many as we can. It's always much more fun to do this strategy compared to the no stop. Obviously with the no stop, you're just fuel saving, tyre saving the whole time. This one you can be a lot more aggressive, go for a lot more overtakes, and well, it's just a lot more fun doing it basically. As you come over the crest, down the hill, following Aston Martin, potentially look for a move. No, not quite here. You're going to have to wait, be patient. This is the only downside really, or it's a big downside, that you do get caught up in traffic. So you do have to make your way through the slow cars as quickly as possible. The Aston Martin moves to the right hand side, we go to the left, move up into 8th. Is he going to fight me? No, he's going to go really slowly down here. 4GT up the inside of the Corvette, doesn't quite make it. Going to go for the cutback. Such as the way that corner works, you can really quite easily nip underneath on the way out. I can just see the front of his car there. I'm going to back out. It's not really worth fighting around the outside. We're going to go single file, should we say, through here. It's really not a place you want to go side by side. It's the death chicane, even at single file times. When you go two abreast, you are just asking the Grim Reaper to come calling. So, we'll almost run out of that car to the outside. Just give him enough space. Now we can tuck into the slipstream up to 7th at the end of lap number 2. Good progress still. 4GT, which side is he going? He's going to go to the left, which will turn out to be the inside for turn 1, up behind the Honda SX. Now, as I try to go around the outside, it's not going to work. 4GT regains 6th place. I'm going to tuck in behind for the moment and just be nice and patient. When you're in this situation here, you can see they're going down to leaner settings of fuel. So I still want to save fuel because you do have to refuel, and still you don't want to lose too much time in the pit lane. So on the one hand, you are attacking in terms of the fuel, you are going for it, but at the same time you're still trying to save as much as you can whilst going quickly. Just obviously not as much as what all the other guys are doing. So already down to 54%, which will only really carry us to the end of lap 6 at best. So we are going to come in round about lap number 5. As we look up the inside of the Honda, brakes quite early. A little bit of lift and coast, I think, from a lot of these guys. They're lifting off really early going into the braking zone, so you can quite easily sail up the inside. That's 6th place now, gone from 15th to 6th, and this is quite an important stage of the race. We have a yellow flag. Someone has been claimed by the Realm through Death Chicane. Couldn't quite see who that was, but we go up another position, up into 5th now. I didn't have the best of runs through there, as the Jaguar here, quite a bulky big boy, doesn't turn too well, not the best turning cars, but he is a good car overall. So for those wondering, yes, we've gone for Jaguar for this season. I was with Jaguar the previous season, and I was quite happy with Jaguar. I think quite a lot of people have actually gone for them in this season. I think they're a decent manufacturer, not the best. They're obviously no Toyota, but they're a good shout. Probably the best British manufacturer, I would say, maybe alongside Aston Martin. But yeah, quite happy with the Jaguar choice. Got used to their cars in the previous season. It's the Group 4 car which I'm more worried about than the Group 3 one. The Group 3 one's I think a bit better compared to Group 4. But still here, up behind the Ford, just trying to stay within that slipstream. That does help with fuel, and of course it makes you a little bit quicker throughout the lap. I think the Ford is quite a popular choice for this season. You'll see a lot of Toyotas, you'll see a lot of Fords, you'll see a lot of BMWs. I think those are probably the most popular choices, and a lot of Porsche, although there are not too many in this race, it must be said. So over the crest down towards the long right-hander. The lead is actually well within sight. We are 4 seconds away from the lead at this point here. Max Verstappen is actually in 2nd place. So in his downtime from F1, he is of course a Gran Turismo master. Through Death Chicane, really close. The tyres really begin to go off now, so you do have to be even more careful. Every lap we go through this, it just feels different compared to the previous lap because the tyres are that much different. Into the final corner, just lost touch with that 4GT, which could be crucial. I'm not going to get the toe up the main straight, and I am just outside the magical 8 temps suck zone. I'm just within it actually, but it's not really going to help me when I'm just on the cusp of it. So that's quite a crucial moment there. Just to lose a couple of attempts maybe up the entirety of that straight. But this race is brewing up nicely. Just looking at the map, it looks like we've broken away as a group of 6 in the front, and then there's a little gap back to 7th, and then they're mostly in a train from there to the back of the pack, around about 17th. So the main thing here is really just to build as much of a gap as possible, so that when we come out to the pit lane at the end of this lap, we don't have too much work to do in that second stint of the race. But again, it will be a very attacking race. Everyone else is still going to be fuel saving, still going to be tyre saving. Their tyres are going to be absolutely shot, as they've done the entire race on one set of tyres. The 4GT making a big mistake coming through that triple chicane and just drops back, and actually now crucially gives me a bit of slipstream. So he's going to slide out there. I'm going to take the invitation to go around the outside, side by side, into depth chicane part 1, and then through part 2, a little bit wide through the first apex. Have to slow down for the second. That's going to really compromise my exit. And you see that the 4GT easily recovers his position. So go back down to 5th. A couple of little position swaps here as we round out the lap, and we round out this first stint of the race. So you can see the top guys here all pulling over to the right hand side, apart from one who carries on for now. Switch over to another set of medium tyres. I saved 12% of fuel. A couple of the other guys about the same as well, 12 and 11. Fuel 19, 20. Coming out with 71%. We can go now to do 4 laps. I've been jumped by the Lexus of Make Believe. So down to 15th. Back to where I started, but this is where the race really begins to get interesting. This is the interesting final attacking stint of the race. We're going to be catching up with a load of people who are nursing their tyres to the end, who are on old tyres, who are still fuel saving, and it's just a matter of putting some good laps now to catch up with the majority of the pack. So just looking at the grid, or sorry, looking at the map, you see they're mostly going through the triple chicane right now, so they're good 5, 6, 7 seconds ahead of me at this point here. Nervous Buddha, who's kind of recovering from that early accident. He's up in 14th, but I think he's on the no stop, and it's just not going to go well for him from here to the end. So coming through here, goes a little bit wide. That's going to give me the invitation. He's going to the left hand side, we're going to go to the right, and we'll easily take 14th from him. And there's some positions to be made here for sure. We've got the Jaguar up ahead. There are 2 Jaguars in this race, so I suppose one challenge in any race of manufacturer series is always just to try to be the top car in your manufacturer in the race. If there are any other cars of the same, of course there is here, right in front of me, and he gets smashed into the barrier. Almost punched him in the face, just reached out and punched him in the face, and he's been claimed. Another one has been claimed for the realm. I've got the beat on my inside as I had such a slow exit, getting distracted by the wall punching that guy in the face. We take it back there on the exit quite comfortably. So we've lost touch unfortunately with the Lexus ahead. So 1 lap ago when we came out of the pits, I was right behind this Lexus in front. Now he is 1.5 seconds in front. So let's whiz around lap number 7, which not really too much happened. This point of the race is really just a phase where you're just trying to catch up with the cars ahead and see how that goes. Through Def Chicane, through there quite nicely. In fact, this lap is purple sectors so far. We're going to whiz around the last part of it as well, and it's going to be a 38.0, which is near enough the fastest lap of the race. Us guys who've done the 1 stop will be doing a lot quicker lap times overall. Of course, the main downside of the strategy is the pit stop itself, which is going to lose you 20 seconds or so, but then you make it up ideally, or potentially, or you're meant to, by putting in the faster laps without having to fuel save as much, without save your tyres as much. Okay, Wi-Fi password here up in 12th. He started last, 19th, made his way up to this position here. I don't think he's really going to be able to do too much. He's on the no-stop strategy. There's not much he can do to fight against me, not for another lap and a half. There's no way he's going to be able to really do it. And this is the real thing about these 2 strategies. Sometimes you have to really know when to pick your fight, and we managed to go past him quite easily there. So yeah, if you're on the no stop and it's like lap 6 of 9 and someone on a one stop's going past, there's just no point in fighting because you're just not going to be able to hold them off for 4 laps. You're only losing yourself time compared to everyone else. So a lot of the time people just picking the right fights, just trying to fight against the correct people. Through Def Chicane, through there okay. And actually we've got a bit of luck because I think the McLaren in 10th actually hit the wall, slowed him down, the Lexus went into the back of him, kind of what happened to me in qualifying almost. And that gave me the momentum to go past up into 11th. Now in the slipstream of the McLaren, this is really ideal actually. So I can just tuck in here. I'm going to try to pull out, but you see just how quick this McLaren is. As actually, he isn't actually going that quick. I think he might be fuel saving a tiny bit. So go up into 10th. Yeah, he must be fuel saving because that McLaren is normally an absolute missile on the straights. 1 lap to go. How many more positions can we get? 7th place is well within sight. In fact, 6th place is in sight. Not too far away. Max Verstappen is right in front of me now. Let's see if that ends in tears. Or a penalty. It's going to end in tears for him as he slides out, loses control. He's going to be kicking himself now as we go into 9th. 7th place is on here. Coming over the crest, down the hill, into the triple chicane. 2 Lamborghinis on the no-stop. They are going to be sitting ducks, potentially, at the end of this lap. We've come through quite nicely. We started this race in 15th. We started the second stint in 15th. But we have a good shout of 7th. As we come down the hill, Lamborghini to the right, Lamborghini to the left. I'm going to go into the middle and form a nice little sandwich here. Down the inside we go, down the outside of one car, down the inside of the other. And we gain 2 positions up into 7th on the final lap into the Def Chicane now. Do not bottle it, 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 do not bottle it. And we haven't bottled it for once. And wow, I've now got about a second gap to the guys behind. Just bring it home, bring it to the end, and we've got ourselves a sensational 7th place. Great race that was. Going for 15th, attacking strategy. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. But actually it did. I've gone up 8 positions from where I started. And now the Mustang is actually going to run out of fuel just in front of us. We have a chance of 6th place. And it's not quite going to be there. It was less than a 10th of a second on the line. And if I didn't fuel save so much, just coming up to the line there, I probably could have got 6th place. But ultimately, we get 7th, which is still a very good result from where we started. It wasn't a good qualifying at all. But I'm very happy with the way that race turned out. Let me know your thoughts as always, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And there are the final results. 1,600 points to start off our campaign here. Not expecting too much for this. Just really trying to have fun with the Manufacturer Series. Just see how highly I can place. It's going to be a highly unlikely I'm about to get to a World Tour event. But let's just see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Thank you to all my patrons, members of course, as always. And thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.